There's a new token out right now. It's Pumpkin, and it's very, very hot. Nothing I say is financial advice, but let's dive in and let's give a quick coverage on this. So this token here came out and just rocketed up. Basically, it was at this tiny sub $1 million market cap for a couple of hours. And then it just bounced up, reaching an all-time high. We'll kind of ignore that candle, but maybe like $60 million. And now it's right down at like 45. This is within 24 hours, less than 24 hours. I was lucky enough to chat to the team a couple of months ago, or speak to one person, Zach from the team, gave him a lot of advice. And I think what they have built is pretty cool. It's a competitor to Pump.fun. Let's cover it all. Before we go any further, I bought around about here and I've been dealing with it since. I missed this. I was told about it and then not pinged for a couple of days, and I just missed the launch. I saw it at this point. There was FUD on the timeline. It was 1 a.m., 1:30, and I decided I'll sleep, look at it in the morning. By the time I woke up, started my day, I was like, okay, what's going on? Let's have a look. So I did a quick little thread here. Basically, there's one FUDder in particular, the Solstice. Won't go over who the person is, but basically just doesn't know how to research to save his life. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be defamatory, but like you have no context. But whatever, it's engaging. Now, the reason why I'm keen to cover this, meme coins are very extractive. Most people will lose bank, exceptionally so. This is why, like, if you're new to crypto, take your soul, stake it, put it in your Phantom, or my preference is Solflare, connecting a ledger, and then stake it. Stake it with validator.com. How about me? How about the channel? But then start to learn different things where you can degen a small amount with some sort of portfolio management. And I don't have a grand idea for perfect portfolio management. The more you risk, the more you can make, the more you can lose. People will often round trip. They'll make 10 grand, they'll bring it down to $800. That will happen more often. So maybe like 10% of your bags, 20% max is probably a degen play. One reason with Pump.fun is they make a whole lot of SOL. They don't do anything. They don't borrow against it, or they just go and transfer it to Kraken and just sell it. They are, I guess you could say, they're net positive because it brings so many more people to the space, but really not bullish on Pump.fun. They're probably going to have a token drop. It's probably going to be amazing, blah, 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 blah. They're beatable for sure. Zach was the person I spoke to at Pumpkin. This was before M3. So this was months ago. And he's now tempted to share beta, but they're going to audits before sharing with the community. So they've done their token launch, and the platform will allow you to launch a token in this cool and novel system. We might go over some of the FUD, but let's just quickly open up what the platform looks like. I saw like a pitch deck a while ago and how it was kind of set up. A little bit of a demo was shown to me. And just to be clear again, I have no upside. I didn't charge a fee as an advisor. I have no token upside. I just want to see them successful. Oh, there you are. The pitch deck is actually live. I didn't realize the pitch deck was live. So I saw this and we went through each point, and I just got very bullish. Basically, Pump.fun, you go and deploy a token. Pump.fun makes, if it graduates like 1.5 SOL, and the creators, if they still hold onto their token, then they've got upside. Otherwise, they don't. Then there's all that locked liquidity, which it generates fees, and the fees they cannot be claimed, which is, I don't know what it is. Hundreds of millions, maybe $1 billion worth of SOL is in the liquidity pool, in liquidity pools as fees that are not auto-compounded and that you cannot claim. So, it's good for the SOL price, right? But in general. So let's have a look at this. Total creator revenue, total protocol revenue. So 180 million. This was months ago. They've crossed 550 million. Creators have made peanuts. And they've got great engagement. They've got great product market fit. But there is no gamification. It's just pump and dump. You have a skill, you pump, you dump. It's not even hard to profit off it. If you have a moral code, if you don't have a moral code, you can do well. We'll cut through a couple of these things, but basically we can have a look at these sort of things like Mother, it was kind of relevant a few months ago. Hopefully it will become relevant again. Frog, $3 million in creator share, and they can decide what they want to do with it. They could burn the rewards. They could take the SOL and they could add more liquidity. They could earn fees. They could distribute. They could start grants, all this sort of stuff. And on top of that, you could take it and you just redistribute it to the people that are staking, which is like M3. And even better, you can unlock stuff as you reach actual milestones. So this is what makes it so cool. Lotteries, all this stuff. It's really good gamification. Link will be below. You can check it out. We want to make this a short video. We can compare earnings as well. Let's look at a comparison to something like Peanut the Squirrel. That would have been pretty crazy. Okay, so $114 on Pump.fun. Woohoo. Pumpkin, 5.7 million. Now, if you made this kind of stuff as a creator and you looked after the person, the IP of Peanut, and you had all this locked Pumpkin and there was staking APY, then maybe the chart would have looked sizably better as an example. Let's go back to the main page and let's launch the app. Now, I've already kind of given feedback, add a comment here, all that sort of stuff in general. And at present, so the goal is you take your tokens, you can stake your tokens. When you stake your tokens, you get more tokens, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Kind of like the M3 model, but it was released before the M3 model. Well, the pitch deck was. So here, that stuff is not live yet. I'm unsure where it is. And we know that it's in beta. It's not ready to push. This Pumpkin is actually a governance token. And I haven't even told you the tokenomics of who gets what. So we cover that, but this is all you can see right now. And we can see right now, live, it's come up and it's come down. Now, people can take profits. We can go and put up all of our indicators or whatever. It's not going to go up forever. It can come down, it can come up again. Do think it has legs. That's not financial advice because it's already up just for as a comparison to go from, the first tweet that you could see, even if you weren't sniping it, the first tweet was like $380,000 market cap. And then it basically 150x'd or something absolutely insane, just like that. All right, now where's all this FUD coming from? Apparently the FUD's coming from the GFM community, which I haven't covered, but this is an idea. GFM was apparently a cabal launch with KOLs having big bags. And let's have a look. This is what the token is, 86 million market cap. And then there's this one, 27, which is now a little bit higher. And then this was just fair. And you could tell it was fair because you did have, and we'll just zoom in a little bit on this period just to see how long you had before it actually reached 1 million. Now this first candle, this is a 5-minute chart, right? The first candle and the second candle, we can kind of exclude. But then from this stage until this big candle over here, it was 2 hours. 2 hours is a lifetime in crypto. And I don't think we're going to see the same kind of chart with GFM. If you go to GFM, put it in here, you can see GFM versus Pumpkin. There's clearly a comparison here. And there's multiple people kind of commenting on this. Apparently, there was a mass reporting from the GFM community to shut down the Telegram for Pumpkin. And that's one of the reasons why that chart kind of pulled on back very, very nastily. Let's go to Pumpkin.fun. Let's have a look at their kind of tokenomics. Goes over the Pumpkin protocol, which I've covered, the features I've covered, growth potential. This is pretty good. In reference to you can have milestone unlocks. You want to have milestones done and you can the yield back to the people that are actually holding it. The tokenomics. This is what it was. The token was minted and I guess launched by them. It has at the end Pumpkin, P-kin. So Pump.fun has Pump.fun and any tokens on Pumpkin will be P-kin. We've got this massive amount of liquidity, which you could see you had a whole 2 hours to get in. It is a possibility that they bought some of their own supply and they've sold some of their own supply. That is a possibility. I'm unsure. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. They're welcome to, but that will be a FUD vector, of course, but it wasn't sniped, right? And if it was sniped, you still had a decent entry. So everyone had the chance to get into there, which is extremely rare. And then we can see all this was locked onto Radium in a concentrated pool on the Solana chain. And that is what makes this far better idea. It's a governance token. It accumulates sol fees, token fees, all that sort of stuff. And you can't stake your token and get the fees right yet. This pool would be generating a huge amount of fees. If it was on Meteora, it would be even cooler. Maybe they can launch on Meteora in the future. Who knows? That would be really, really cool. But the gamification of it makes me really, really bullish on the protocol. When a token just rockets up like this, you can expect people to take profits. Of course you can. That, of course, makes a whole lot of sense. And right now you can already see this. There are still one sniper left, okay? There you are. There was a person that was selling and they haven't burned the upgrade authority yet. That is a small risk. It does have a very low rug probability and it was very, very organic. Let's see what Zach's kind of been putting out. This is cool. Didn't raise any funds from VCs, had no paid KOLs, gave advice. That was it. I didn't ask for anything and I just wanted to see someone take Pump.fun's market share, and I don't know who the other KOLs are. They've been off to a really good start. Team got some rest due to this, the Telegram attack. Now, there is some FUD on this. If you see any old username for the Twitter account, it's because we explored on different ideas and then pivoted to this one. So you could probably check that out if you wanted to. But I'm not going to be too worried about this because I do feel it has a decent amount of product market fit. This was probably what made it blow up. AI XBT, Pumpkin, blah, it's rug, and then Surge's weight. Like this is just a ratio. It's a perfect ratio. So Tokenomics stronger than other launches. Core mechanism actually works. Dev's not dumping 80% in 2 days. It's so on point. I guess the biggest kind of compared to this is M3, M3 and GFM. The issue with M3, M3 is they bundled, they got all the supply, which they decided that's the best idea. So people don't have this crazy cult-like upside. You stake it, maybe it goes up. Then they have this massive amount of supply. And I'm bullish on M3, M3, but it's not like ideal, right? They then go and airdrop a whole lot to different NFT communities or whatever. They go and jeet it, and then you're down considerably. I put money into increasing my stake, and then just NFT communities, we're just giving it, jeeted, and whatever. And the price of M3, and we'll check it out right now, was nasty. I'll tell you in a second how I'm actually playing this, and you can decide if you want to play it yourself. M3, it's like, it's a cool thing for sure. 4-hour or even 1 hour chart. It's just all over the show. It's been as high as like this, but it just comes on down. This is not a chart you want to see, to be perfectly honest. As cool as the tech is, this is what bundling transactions looks like. Boom, straight up to a massive market cap and then whatever. So that's pretty cool. I think what we could do is have a look at GFM and just see what happened in the first few minutes, because maybe I'm being a little bit unfair on it and I don't want to be unfair. All right, so this launched on the 24th and this is live. It wasn't live to begin with though. That's something to keep in mind with. We will go to the 5-minute chart just to be fair. Okay, so the first transaction came in, or like in the first 5 minutes, and then within a very short time you're already at 1 million, and then it pumped up further to 2.3 million, and then snipers just tanked it all the way down to 346. So then you had time to get in, but after that massive tanking where you were probably wrecked by the KOLs, I don't know who they were, but whatever, that's when it started to take off. So it's still a very decent token to get a hold of, but it didn't have a very smooth launch. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is Pumpkin. Remember, it ends in kin, which you can still generate that. A lot of people have been cloning a whole lot of fake tokens out there, so be very, very mindful. It may not be verified on Jupiter yet. We'll check it out. It's tanking right now, but I do think it will rival GFM for sure. How would you play it when it's like this? Well, one thing you could do is you go and set up to buy it if the price goes lower and lower. So you jump into here and you can turn on like MACD, you can put in RSI, and you can see if the RSI starts to get really, really low, if the chart looks like it's kind of jumping down, and we'll just bring this down here a little bit. So as it starts to dip, it's going to come down lower. You could be buying, hoping for it to flash green and then come up again. The RSI is at 40, so that's not even crazy low. You may want to try and buy, like you can see it's bottom like 35, like around that 35, a little bit lower, and then you can sell here and buy and sell if it plays out how I think it's going to play out. Another perfect example is use Meteora. Covered it too many times, and I'll cover it 1,000 more times. But specifically, I'll show you what you want to do. Go to app.meteora.ag, come in here and just search for Pumpkin, and you can see the sizable amount of TVL. Your best pool you want to be in is, of course, this one here with Sol, not with USDC, because there's a lot more Sol going in. Now you can get into the higher fee pools, like 5%, 2% as an example. You can also get in here if you want to just jump in and just absolutely go crazy. But what you probably want to do is check out something like this. And then I don't have a wallet connected, but you'd add a position. So you put in a bid ask 5 Sol. And then as the price gets lower and lower, you start to buy them. And then you can withdraw them, and then you can turn around, and then you can open a new position. So we'll get rid of this. And then you can, let's say you've got 2,000 Pumpkin tokens. You can then start to sell it as it goes up. That's one option. Of course, you can use spot and whatnot. Curve would not be the right thing to do here, as the price is very volatile, going up and down. Anyway, that's an overview on Pumpkin. Check it out if it interests you. You do not have to go anywhere near the token itself. Just keep an eye on future launches to come from this, because I think this is far better in terms of gamification, hitting certain goals, getting unlocked liquidity, distributing to the stakers, however it likes to be, lottery things. This, I think, is pretty on point. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.
Whoa.